What if the most important part about Wormhole isn't the bridge, but who controls the bridge? When you're connecting 30 plus blockchains at once, it's important to understand who decides how. This is where Wormhole's token W comes into place. So in this video, we're going to break down Wormhole's token W. And at the end of the video, you'll have a better understanding of their governance system, their tokenomics, release schedule, and the price of token W, so you can have a better understanding if this is something that you want to invest in. This is never financial advice. I'm just here to provide some information for you to use and you to take with you and do further research on. All of my research is down in my description below, so please use those links. We do not gatekeep here on this channel. Let's go ahead and jump into the news stories that do come from Wormhole's actual website. Follow along and read along with me. Take a look at your screen here. It says in 2023, the Uniswap Foundation Bridge Assessment Committee conducted a third-party multi-month report that resulted in Wormhole being named the only unconditionally approved cross-chain protocol for use by the Uniswap DAO, based primarily on security and decentralization practices. The Wormhole platform is being developed by a decentralized set of teams contributing to security engineering, research, product development, ecosystem growth, and community. These teams will include Wormhole Foundation, Wormhole Labs, X Labs, as well as other contributors like Wormhole China, Super Team, Lurk, and Zspoken, amongst others. This becomes more decentralized now that we have this W token governance system. So what is Wormhole and why is this important for anybody that doesn't know? So Wormhole essentially is the entity that is going to connect all these different blockchains that live in silos. They are great by themselves, but they have a hard time talking to one another or interfacing with one another. So this is where Wormhole comes in. They can all move through Wormhole's protocol. This is huge. So if you want to learn more about Wormhole, I do have part 1 right here. In part 1, we break down Wormhole, kind of do an overall and get a better feel and understanding as to who this company is and what they're doing. So I highly suggest that if this is new to you, or maybe you knew about Wormhole and you just haven't really done the research yet. So definitely check that video out. Some great information in there. So let's keep on rolling and let's learn more about their token W. So take a look at your screen with me. This is again from their website. So their token W is a multi-chain native token. They have a native token that is multi-chain. Let that really sink into what that means. W will initially launch as a native Solana SPL token. ERC20 functionality will be enabled post-launch through Wormhole's native token transfers NTT, which in the past video, as I spoke about, we do cover NTT in depth. It is very important you understand what they're doing with that, allowing seamless transfers across any Wormhole connected network. So we understand that Wormhole has a token, and this token actually came out in April of 2024. Before we move forward, let me know down in the comments, were you aware that Wormhole has a token called W? A lot of people, I'm sure, are probably surprised by this that haven't really been following Wormhole very well, but it's huge. I think it's something to look at. Yes, it's a governance token, and a lot of people want to invest in things that are more of the financial based system that's going to actually be moving the currency, etc. But my view of it, if the governance system is controlling all the other blockchains, does this not mean this token could be valuable? And it's important to understand that if it is called a commodity versus a security, which is looking like that it may become a commodity versus a security, we're still waiting for the Clarity Act to help us out with this, that changes everything. So if it's a commodity, then there's a lot of different variables we need to take in place. And I think the utility of this token being a governance system that controls and allows all these other blockchains to do things is very important to consider while you're investing in this project. Now let's read about the governance system and their DAO and why it's important and what they're going to be doing with this. And so you have better understanding, is this something that is worth investing in at all? So go ahead and take a look at your screen here with me. Let's learn about their governance system. It says, fundamentally, a token-based governance system allows token holders to guide and impact the protocol's direction. Over time, Wormhole plans to progressively decentralize the protocol's governance to W holders. After the token generation and distribution events, on-chain governance will largely guide community programs and treasury-related activities. The exploration of what is possible in a multi-chain world has just begun. The goal of the governance launch is to empower and enable the Wormhole community to address these critical areas with the necessary resources and support. However, over time, It is expected that the DAO will take more responsibility for many decisions and actions, including adding and removing blockchains connections to Wormhole. Hence, if it's a commodity, that's important because that's going to either allow or not allow different blockchains to come in. Think about that. Upgrading smart contracts across Wormhole, adjusting fees across various products of Wormhole, expanding and or adding new parties to the Guardian set, adjusting, which are just no validators by the way, adjusting rate limits, a security feature, a token utility and design. So essentially, the governance of the W token is going to govern how the Wormhole protocol operates. So think about it, if other blockchains want to get in, they can technically be boxed out by this governance system and who controls the governance system, which we will cover towards the back of the end of this video. You'll see some of these big players that are involved in this governance system. Let's keep on rolling though, and let's look at the token allocation, because we know now that Wormhole has a token. We know now that Wormhole's token is being used for the governance system, but how is it allocated? How do they spread this apart? So let's go ahead and take a look at your screen with me here. This is token allocation. So we have 5.1% during the garden nodes, 17.0 community and launch, 31.0 ecosystem and incubation, 12.0 core contributors, 11.6 strategic network participants, 23.3 foundation treasury. Okay, so we know Wormhole's token is used for governance. The governance is going to be allocated across what we just spoke about, but where are we at in that process? And before we jump into it, if this is something you guys are enjoying, it is very imperative you guys help me out with such a video like Wormhole. There's not a lot of demand for it. And just full transparency here, hitting that like button, leaving a comment down below, sharing, all those things isn't for my own ego, just how this algorithm works on YouTube. If I make videos back to back that flop, so let's say if I typically get 2,000 or 3,000 views, then I start getting consistent 300 views, then YouTube no longer shares my videos and I have to dig myself back out of that. So when I make a video that people just don't want to watch, I cannot make a extended part 2, part 3, etc. these videos, which I would love to do, but if it flops, I just can't do it. So how it doesn't flop is you guys hitting that like button, sharing, leaving a comment. Even if it is just a simple thumbs up down in the comments, it goes a very long way and it's very much appreciated. And if you like the style of reporting where there's no hype, no fluff, no promises of any kind of astronomical price appreciation to hype you up, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I actually need only about 40 subscribers to hit that 5,000 mark. So anybody that's done so, you know I love you guys and I really appreciate the support for the channel. I quite literally could not do this without you guys. So thank you for that. Now let's move into coinlaunch.space. We're going to break down where they are at as far as the progress of their release schedule for this token. So take a look at the screen with me and read along here. So you'll see this is the Wormhole token. But what I want to show you before we dive in is these top investors here you'll see. So as we look at these top investors, check out who pops up on top of the list, Coinbase Ventures. They have 70 numbers of investments on here, but we also have Arrington Capital. If you know anything about XRP, all that, you know what I'm talking about with Arrington Capital. And then what I really want to show down here is this Jump Trading. So Jump Trading is actually where the founders of Wormhole originated, and that's where they came from. Just a little side note to put in your pocket for whatever reason for later. But as I roll through these token unlocks, I'm not going to read through them all just to save time here. So check out your screen and let's roll down more. So we have the community and launch was at 100%. And as you'll see, as we keep rolling down, we have ecosystem and incubation. You'll see at 54.07, foundation treasury, we have 49.94%. Guardian nodes, we have 23.2. We have strategic network, we have 23.2. Then core contributors, we are sitting at 25% unlock. So if you are watching this, it's important to understand you're still early on this project. Should you want to look at it, again, not financial advice, just information for you to take for yourself. But you're still early, but the question is, how early are you? When is this release schedule going to be fully up? Because that's important to understand too. So let's check it out. So again, take a look at your screen here. We have Wormhole vesting schedule. And as you see, as we went through all those unlocks and the progress we're at, you will see that we're still, let me slide this over so you have a better idea. So you'll see that we still have until October 2028 before it is fully unlocked and they are fully in circulation. So if you are watching this, you are still super new to Wormhole. You have an opportunity, again, if this is something for you. But this is a governance token, so keep that in mind. But let's keep rolling here. Let's look at coinmarketcap.com so we have a better understanding of the price, the unlock, and all this stuff that you need to know. So let's go ahead and check a look at the screen here. So currently, as the recording of this video, which for me is on January 25th, 2026, we have it at just at 2 cents right now, which is a great buy if you are considering this, and that's not financial advice. But market cap, we're sitting at 152.7 million. Then we have the fully diluted at 287.54 million. And we currently have a max supply of 100 billion W tokens, but we only have 5.31 billion tokens in circulation. Now that we understand that, let's take a little bit of a look at this price action here. If we look back at the all-time here, you see that it did originally launch with the originally ICO came out at the 1.29 cents, and of course steadily dropped, but that isn't very much important right now because we know the market is down as a whole. So let's take more a look at the 1 year. As you see, we are steadily dropping right now, but the question you ask yourself, is it because the market volatility, crypto space as a whole has been down, or is this project just not performing? That's up to you to decide, but if you watch part 1 and if we end up doing a part 3, you'll understand why I disagree with that line of thinking. So let's keep rolling on and learn more about their yield generation. So it's important to note that this isn't something 100% going to keep going forward, because we have to make sure that the Clarity Act does get put in place. If you know anything about the Clarity Act, it's been held back a lot from the big bank systems, and they really want to stop yield from rewards, etc. This is a big threat to the legacy banks. So it's something to keep in mind. We'll wait for the Clarity Act at the end of the day. So let's read through this article right quick that comes from the blog, and we will power through it fast as I can here. It says the new strategic wormhole reserve is accumulate and lock up on-chain and off-chain protocol revenue into a W reserve. The reserve will channel reserves across the ecosystem, including the Wormhole protocol, Wormhole cross-chain portal, and other applications, according to this announcement on Wednesday. Additionally, the team is increasing opportunities for yield generation, specifically for holders who contribute to the governance and use Wormhole's apps. The tokenomics plan will keep staking as a variable reward, but also boost earnings for active users of ecosystem applications. Notably, users of the Wormhole portal and multi-chain blockchain bridge that connects dozens of networks like Ethereum, Cosmos, and Solana will accrue points that can boost staking yields. The team is targeting 4% base yield on W. Yield would come from a combination of the existing token supply and protocol revenues. There is no inflation being introduced to W. The total supply remains capped at 10 billion tokens. The team noted future protocol revenue ensures that as Wormhole grows, W token holders grow with it. So are they essentially saying as Wormhole grows, you're going to grow with being rewarded for supporting their network? Do you see W going somewhere in the future? I personally do, because I know I haven't released part 3 yet, and again, that will be determined if this videos perform well or not. But as we look at part 3, my goal with that is to give you the companies and their ecosystem behind Wormhole. And if you watch part 1, I showed you some of the names that already are associated with them, like BlackRock, Circle, Ripple, etc. But as we dive more into who's using Wormhole and their partners, you'll see that this company isn't going anywhere just based off of who they're connected with. I think that's very important to understand. So part 3 will come out if this video performs well, and you will understand why Wormhole's token W could become valuable in the near future being by 2030, not by tomorrow. So if you're curious about staking and how this works, let me show you right here. This is actually from Wormhole's actual website, which is their dashboard. So check it out here. This is Wormhole staking, and you'll see the governance system here. If we look at proposals, this is how this works. You can see that 99.9% of people voted for the last proposal here, but that was the back of June 2025. But you'll see that we have browse delegates. You can see all the people that are a part of this governance system, and you'll see that Dan Reeser, keep that guy in name. We're going to circle back to him here just in a second, but you'll see other people that are involved in this, or other entities that are involved in this. Let's keep rolling here, and let's look at how the tally works, and let's look at the governance system in real time, as looking at how this actually operates. For people that haven't really looked at a governance system, this is important to check out here. So you see that here, this is continuation from Wormhole's website. And you'll see how this is broken down, so you can see who voted, right, and how much they hold to vote, etc. But Dan Reeser again comes up. If you want to check out the bubbles, you can, but then you also can check out the timeline of how that all came about. So the governance system, the more weight you hold, more say-so you have in this ecosystem. So thinking these people that hold more tokens have more say. So as Wormhole grows and as their necessity grows with blockchain, I think you're going to see more and more people flood into being a governor of this ecosystem, because it's going to behoove them to be a part of it, and they will get rewarded for it. So as I promised, and we're going to wrap it up with this one here, let's look at Dan Reeser. Who is Dan Reeser for people that don't know who he is? So check it out here. This is Dan Reeser's LinkedIn page. And as we scroll down here, we have a better understanding of his work history. And I want to share this just because you can see where he comes from. So we do have, he's the co-founder of Wormhole Foundation. He's a contributor to Wormhole. But as we go down a little bit more and we start looking at his previous history, I think it's important to look at his history as a whole for this reason. We have growth marketing, Polkadot launch team. He's Web3 Foundation. And then we also have, where is that at? I'm gonna keep going here. This is what I wanted to see. So he was also with Eli Lilly and Company for 4 years, and he lastly worked as a manager of global marketing strategy. And he worked with Eli Lilly, which is a big name out there, and he's been with them several years on and off. So we have somebody with Eli Lilly that is now with Wormhole, making the new banking system. So I think that's kind of interesting that they work together, or has worked in the past. And as I'm diving more and more into the crypto space, I'm learning a lot of the old legacy people that helped build the old legacy system are now moving to Web3, DeFi, etc., moving into the crypto space to build this out. So to me, it's always a great sign when we see somebody is so connected to the previous legacy system, because they know what they're doing. So this is all I have for you in this video, but as always, please hit that like button, that comment button, and if you like this kind of reporting where it's facts, not hype, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It would be very much appreciated. Before I let you go, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, and become that change you want to see in the world. I'll see you on the next one.